What's good, everyone? Welcome to Rink, Diaries, local Ice Man here, and what you're looking at is a $900 motor that cost $125 to get it here overnight. Holy shit. And yeah, that was that important. Our dehumidifier right now is not running at full capacity because the motor that turns the Desiccant wheel is starting to overheat and stop. So basically every hour, gonna turn it off for 10 minutes, let the motor cool down and turn it back on. Then it kind of goes for about 40-45 minutes before it kind of heats up and shuts down. The rink itself is not getting completely dry. We get some drips from the ceiling. This motor is thermally protected, and that's what caused it to shut off. I'm guessing the motor itself is starting to fail, starting to overheat, causing the thermal protection to kick in. So it's probably just time to replace it before it completely fails. That was Monday. Here we are on Wednesday. Got it here overnight, and I'm gonna install it. I think I could do it. I'm not the most electrical savvy guy, but if all the wire colors are the same, I think I could be able to do it. And I ordered a new sprocket because that sprocket gives out sometimes on it. So, but that we didn't want overnight because it's coming from somewhere else. So let's go ahead and open that dehumidifier up, put this thing in. All right, one of the first things we gotta do is turn off the power, the main breaker. There you go. So I don't want to electrocute myself. Give you some perspective here. This is the side dehumidifier that I showed you in the first video. But on this side over here, I already took off a couple plates. This right here is a Desiccant wheel. Actually, I did show you guys inside here, but you didn't see inside this part right here. Right here is the switch, the rotation fault switch. And the ramp happens to be right there. So as this wheel rotates around, it kind of lifts the switch up and back down and resets a timer. I think it's set for about 8 minutes. So if this thing stops rotating, the timer will shut the system down. And that's basically kind of what was happening because this motor was getting so hot that it just kind of shut stuff down. So what I'm gonna do next is take the tension off the chain by loosening these two screws. And I got the two bolts off. Let's take there's two washer deal looking things. I guess they're not really washers, two springs. Camera here. All right, let's disconnect the electrical first before I start reefing on things. That last screw back here is going to be fun to get to. There we go. Oh, these are not marked. Okay, I'm going to be able to figure the wiring out. I don't think that's going to be a big deal. I got the two bolts off here. I need to take this thing out to get the back two bolts. And there's a little cotter pin right there. So as soon as I pull that out and pull this bar out, I should be able to take this whole thing out. All right, instead of pulling that cotter pin out, I'm going to pull that one out right there. If I pull that out, I'll be able to push the bar out into the other side a little bit easier than pulling it out this way. All right, so here's the bar. Let's go ahead and pull this thing up and out if we can. And what I'm going to do actually is, before I get that totally out, cut these wires so I know which one's which when I put it back. This motor is kind of still working, so I'm gonna stick it somewhere where we could use it just in case of emergency. All right, next we gotta pull a sprocket off the old motor. Allen key here. So let's go ahead and put this thing on and get her buttoned up. All right, I got the motor off here. Here's the plate when wiped off all the grease off it. Now, one concern I had is that maybe the bearings on this thing was starting to freeze up, and that's why it was causing stress on the motor. But when I turned the chain, pulled on the chain, it's rotating. So, but I think that we do need to replace the bearings on this thing sooner than later. So that's the next thing that I think I'm gonna recommend us do. So I think I'm at the halfway point here. Let's go ahead and slap this new motor on here, get the plate in there, get it wired, get the chain on, wrapped up, and get some lunch. All right, time to get the motor and the plate back in. I think I need to get this thing in here first. Okay, I see. Get in there. It's so long, it's hard to slide in there. Almost missed a hole on the outside. Slide it nice and slowly until it goes in. push too hard. Get in? Nah, not in yet. Oh, there's 2 holes. You gotta go through the first hole before you go through the second hole, right? I can't see the hole down there, so I have to feel by hand. Come on, Jim. Slide the rod into the hole. It's so greasy down there too, it's hard to get a hold of it. It's just off to the side a little bit. I just can't see down there. I'm trying to get through the hole on the plate. There we go, got it. Now I gotta get it through the hole on the unit. I think I can push it this way. Right there, right there, there you go, got it. All right, let's get the wiring on here. Get the wire over to the new box. Still have everything marked as such. All right, ground wire. This one right here. We know that as such. I got an ice cut here in a few minutes, so I gotta just go in here. Ground wire goes first. The wire just wants to stay there, so we're gonna leave it there. Flip this over this way so you guys are nice and tucked in there. Okay. That's 1, 2. And after I get this box on, I haven't filled my water yet. I gotta go hit the water valve. My cut's in 10 minutes. I am so close. I just turned my Zamboni water on. It's trickling there. I'll spray some of this chain link on here. Just did the ice. Someone came and got the ice shavings for a little fun. I did warn them that the ice is not always the cleanest, but that's fine. Distractions. I'd have to take off the box to put this gasket in. Didn't want to forget that. All right, got the motors mounted on. Got the electrical wiring all good in there. I got the chain on. All right, before I get too tight, I have to center the sprocket on the chain. It seems like the sprocket is just a little bit over that way on the chain. So let me go ahead and center the sprocket, and I'll get this thing nice and tight. Let's go ahead and tighten down this plate. Make sure these are both at the same tension. All right, I think I got it all put together right here. I got my sprocket lined up with the chain. Got the proper tension on there so it doesn't skip. Wiring looks good. All right, before I put these panels back on, let's go ahead and fire this thing up, make sure it's spinning, make sure everything's good. Then I'll put these covers on and call it good and get me some lunch. Over here, power it on. All right. Now, one of the first things that turn on is that motor, so I'm gonna go ahead and go check it. All right, looking good. Go ahead and put the covers on, wrap it up. All right, the boards are a little foggy. The system's been running for about a half hour, so I think it's good. Check the chain, the Desiccant wheel is spinning, so I think we're good to go. So, like the local Ice Man says, oh no!